Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Froe Show. My name is Frank Mankin and I'm joined, as always, by my beautiful co-host, Joe Murray.
Hello, Frank.
Hello, Joe. We are running the most rinky-dink setup today. Probably this is our second worst setup since the first episode, I think.
Whoa, what's our worst setup?
The first episode.
Oh. This isn't rinky-dink.
It's fairly rinky-dink.
I mean, the recorder's in my lap rather than normally the recorder sits next to you.
This is true. I mean more like lighting and location-wise.
Oh, yeah, no.
It's like, it's not bad, but...
It's pretty bad. What's the actual lighting look like?
It's like, we're being backlit for the most part.
Oh, you should just pulled that closer.
I could have, but then I didn't. And we've already started, so I'm not going to do that.
It's just gonna be bad.
We're shooting, this is a filler episode. By the time this comes out, I'll be halfway through a trip to the Netherlands. Mm-hmm. So we kind of have to get stuff done, but the whole warehouse is booked out for the whole day, so we don't have the time or the resources to shoot there today.
Yeah.
So we're shooting at Joe's home studio because it's more fun that way.
Yeah. It's got cool lights.
It does have cool lights. And yeah. I don't know if it's on camera, but it's definitely not, but there's oh yeah, no it is.
Oh, right just.
There. There's an on-air sign that I bought Joe for his birthday last year, which is very, very cool. I like that one.
It is cool, yeah.
We were just watching, we've got, what is it, Planet? Is this?
Our Planet?
Our Planet.
I think so. I think Our Planet.
Yeah, the BBC documentary, one of the nature documentaries. We were like, we want something on the TV in the background to play, because we thought that'd be cool. And we ended up just watching it for half an hour.
Yeah.
But do you want to talk a little bit about what we were saying about the show?
Well, one of the things was how amazing the shots were, and like how they get it, or how you can keep something in such sharp focus when it's moving.
Yeah.
A lot. And one of the things you mentioned was that it didn't seem like they changed focus very much during the shot.
No, they like lock focus, and then like things come in and out of focus by moving, but they don't like move focus halfway through a shot.
Yeah, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you try to track it though, you reckon?
I think it just makes for a cleaner looking final image.
Yeah, okay.
For the most part. Well, I don't know, you'd have to ask them, but like it is super noticeable.
Yeah? I mean, I didn't notice it that much.
Oh. Well, I did.
Well, you're a film kid.
I'm a film boy.
So I wonder if...
It's something that I struggle with a lot though, because I try really hard. I don't try really hard. I do like tend to shift focus around like mid-shot, which I shouldn't do. It's just like a bad habit that I have. So it's like I look at that and then I go, okay, like that's something that I need to work towards not doing anymore.
Yeah, okay.
So that kind of...
I don't know. Does it make for like a cleaner edit then, I guess?
Yeah, it makes for a cleaner edit, and I think it's a bit more visually pleasing on the whole. When stuff's not like blurry focus, focus, you know.
And the background's not changing.
Yeah.
Not changing.
It's just like this clean, nice image where this pretty little Barbie comes in and then it does a little dance and then it flies out.
The dance where the four of them jump past each other. That was so cool.
I liked that. They were like going whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah.
Like that.
Jump front of the line to the back of the line, moving closer to the female.
Yes. I feel like I haven't watched a nature documentary in a while. Last one I watched would have been like end of last year, and it was like about mushrooms. It's like a 2-hour documentary on mushrooms.
Why? What? Like just about fungi in general?
Yeah, just about fungi in general.
Was it interesting?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It was really interesting.
That'd be a lot easier to get footage for than an animal one.
No, you would think, right? But no, because a lot of it's time lapses. So it's like permanent setup cameras in the wild that are there for like 90 days capturing these like really rare mushrooms grow. And then like they obviously don't know if they're going to show up in a certain spot or anything. So then they like might set up the camera and then they miss the shot. Like it's like all that sort of stuff. And then they also have a bunch of like really cool like long-term decomposition stuff and like showing how mushrooms and stuff like take down bodies and stuff. It is really cool. Really interesting documentary.
Those time lapses would be like a week long then.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be it wouldn't be like, 180 hours of footage. Like it would be an actual time lapse where it's like one photo every 10 minutes or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, right, okay.
So that makes it a little bit more manageable, but...
Yeah. But still you got to leave your camera there for a week.
I would assume
or camp with it.
I'd assume that there is a system in place. Like box like a rainproof box or something that they like put the camera in, and then they can just leave it, like once it's all set up, they can just leave it there for a week. That would be my assumption, at least.
You reckon they do that for animals as well?
Time lapses of animals.
No, like they'll leave a camera in a box and just let it film.
Oh yeah. They have those motion triggered ones.
Oh.
For animals. You know how hunters have those? Where they like go out in the forest and they put like the motion tracked cameras there. They're super convenient. Like they use them all the time. I assume it would be something similar to that for actual like animal nature stuff. I've totally lost my train of thought there.
Yeah, I don't know.
yes, they would. Is my answer to your question.
Okay. Well, something. Oh, there's no like through story in documentaries like that. That's something else we noticed.
Yeah.
Right at the end of our viewing segment,
little viewing party. They just essentially they have one like very general connecting shot, and then it just goes to the next section.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel clunky.
No,
which is cool.
Yeah, no, it was like talking about birds and in a forest, and then there was like one overhead drone shot of a forest that looked slightly colder, and then it was like winter, and then it was like, here's a bunch of elk in the snow. And it's like, whoa, all right, like
we're at the elk in the snow now.
We elking it up. Now we're in Antarctica.
Yeah,
so we're just like, I assume, like the producer was like, we'll go summer, we'll go spring, summer, autumn, winter, and that'll be the layout of the film.
Is this the last one?
I have no idea.
Oh.
I assume it's something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
don't know how the BBC do that things and stuff.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. I do really want to do some like BBC nature documentary stuff in the future though. I think that would be so cool.
I've always loved like the nature photography as well.
Yeah.
Those things where it's super zoomed and
like
just
here's a fox from 2 kilometers away.
Yeah. And it's just like their face and that's it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are really cool. I like those a lot too. Yeah. I mean, any nature stuff, I'm like,
It's so nice.
It's so hard though, because there's so much, like all the stuff that you don't see, right? Like there's so much waiting and just sitting with your camera in the freezing cold, like waiting for a fox to maybe show up.
Yeah.
Because you can't bait them anyway. You can't bait them either.
No, because it'll show up in the shot.
Not even that, but it's just like unethical.
Yeah.
Like you just have to be there and get lucky.
Yeah. You'd know so much about nature. Well, you just know people that know, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's a guy that I, like, very generally know, but he was a marine biologist first and then became a filmmaker, and that's how he got working for the BBC.
Oh, so it is like marine
he started that way,
documentaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously, like, you'd have a quite general knowledge of biology, I guess, so it covers most of the...
Ocean documentaries must be so much harder.
I'd be so scared. I'm so scared of the ocean.
Imagine just being dropped out in the middle and being like, "Here, film this
Great
like
white
whale."
shark.
No, this whale.
Oh yeah.
Like what?
It would be sick. But also, like, I feel like it's way scarier for the cameraman because you're not only swimming with this giant whale, but you're also swimming with this giant whale in a wetsuit with flippers and a $40,000 camera and an underwater housing and no free hands.
Yeah.
Because you're just like hands outstretched in front of you, like flipping away.
And you're focused on getting that shot. You're not like looking around.
No.
Seeing what's
around you. I
think
that's what scares me so much about the ocean, right? Like on land, you've got like really like one plane where things can come at you from. Maybe up sometimes.
Yeah.
But then like underwater, it's like you're 360 degrees of danger, baby.
Yeah. Everywhere.
Everywhere danger.
Yeah.
And that's scary.
Yeah. The scary thing being like it down. You have down then.
Yeah.
Like, one of my worst fears, I fell into, when I was water skiing, I don't know if I told you this, into like a pod of jellyfish. Oh, dude. And like, it was one of those moments where you look over there, there's a jellyfish. And then you turn to the other side, there's another one. Turn around, there's one. And then you look down, just jellyfish all around you. And you're just like, that was freaking out.
What did you do?
I just was like yelling at the boat because they would have come around and have like given me the rope so that I could go again, right? But I was just like, had my ski. Normally when you take your ski off and point it out of the water, the driver knows you're going to get out and into the boat. And it was just like, throw my ski at them, then just leaped into the boat. But yeah, so I experienced that firsthand of like looking down and being like, there's a lot of jellyfish.
That is actually horrifying.
Yeah.
I would have proper cried.
Yeah, it was horrendous.
Just sobbing in the middle of the ocean.
So yeah, we got back to the beach and I was like, I'm done for a little bit. I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna go again for a little while.
I think I'm sweet.
I might be done for today, actually.
Yeah. I think my greatest fear is just like looking down and then and kind of seeing something, but then also like not really seeing anything. You know? Yeah, that was the end. That was the end of the documentary. It was Our Planet.
Is that what we said?
Yeah. Good job, Adam Chapman.
Next
there's more episodes.
Yeah,
okay,
it's a limited series.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
That's my greatest fear is like looking down and kind of seeing something.
Yeah.
Like just seeing something go like, you know? Not that there's sound underwater, but you get the visual picture from the sound.
Yeah.
Right? Just the, and then going,
yeah.
I'd like to get back in the boat, please.
Yeah. Take me away.
There was a guy that I follow on Instagram who posted a bunch of pictures with like whale sharks and stuff. And I was like, 1, that's really cool. Like that's sick. 2, no thank you.
Yeah.
But also like a part of me really, really wants to. Like there's a really big part of me that would love to get into conservation and marine conservation and things like that.
Yeah.
Once I'm a little more established in film. But like, oh my God, that's so scary. So scary. So it's like, okay, do I be scared and do it, or do I be scared and just like vibe?
My biggest fear with that would be like looking down and you see the head of a shark coming by, and you know how it's like how they breach or whatever. Yeah.
Well, that literally happened like 4 weeks ago in Sydney.
Yeah. That's my biggest fear. Like imagine him swimming and then he looks down and the last thing you see is just the head of the shark.
Of a great white shark. Which, in all seriousness, he probably did. Because he would have been swimming and he would have been wearing goggles.
Looking down.
Literally my greatest fear.
Yeah.
That video shot fear into my very soul.
Yeah.
It was like, there is no way I'm going swimming anywhere near there, ever.
Yeah, no. And I think the scariest thing is knowing that the shark's mouth wouldn't have been open. That's, I think, more scary.
Wait, why? What?
Well, if it's trying to knock you out or whatever.
Oh, true.
It may not. Well, he may not have his mouth open, but like it just coming at you with, like, knowing that it's just gonna hit you. Not that it's gonna not that it's just gonna like take an arm or something.
Yeah.
And skedaddle, but that it's just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like it. All right, I want to move on from this. I don't like this conversation anymore.
No, we should move on.
I'm getting scared.
I shouldn't be talking about this. I'm going skiing in 2 days. So.
Oh yeah, I'm literally going to like Western Europe. I ain't going in any ocean.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I will be sitting on patios drinking high percentage beers.
Yeah.
That is my plan. It's spring there too, so I'm going to be like
having a great time.
It's going to be like 14 degrees during the day.
Man.
Be wearing jeans and like a hoodie.
It's going to be good.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm going to make so much cool stuff too.
Yeah, I'm keen.
I'm
very keen to see it.
Yeah, I got some things planned. Which some of those will probably, I mean, you know, I'll be halfway through the trip by the time this comes out, so
yeah.
A lot of them will probably already be out by now. But no, I'm really excited. It's weird to take time off now. You know, I'm like not really taking time off, but like I am. Like I'm going away for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I feel like my last holiday was like 2019.
Yeah.
Like pre-COVID.
Yeah.
So it's really weird now to like be taking the time off, especially because I've been so like on the ground running for the past, like I'd say probably 6 months properly. Just like all gas, no breaks.
Yep.
I don't know, it's weird to be taking a break.
Well, you're still going to be making vlogs and whatever.
Yeah.
All that you're like taking a break from, I guess, is like your part-time job.
Part-time job and
this
and podcast and like the film stuff that I'm working on. So there's quite a bit.
There is a few.
There's quite like I'm essentially taking a break from Thursday through Sunday.
Oh well, that'll be good.
Or Monday through Friday. I'm just taking a
kind
break.
of just everything.
That's all. I'm just taking a break.
Everything except the vlog.
Yeah, everything except the vlog.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think we talked about it in last week's episode, which we recorded yesterday. So it's still very fresh in our minds. But like we were talking a lot about like being addicted to your work and stuff. Also, that episode should not have worked.
No. I can't believe how quiet everyone got as soon as we started.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "Ooh, mics are on. Oh, I'm not going to talk now.
I'm only going to talk. I'm only going to speak if spoken to.
Yeah. The only thing I wish would happen more is that there was more like, it would have been really cool. I think we were heading there, but fortunately we didn't have the facilities to be able to keep filming.
Yeah.
I think like the conversation was just going to start to happen around us.
Yeah.
And that's what I was looking forward to. But yeah, it just didn't hit as soon as I had wanted. Yeah. That's all right.
I think we'll do something similar again to that episode at some point. But I think if we do it again, then it has to, like, I kind of want to curate the group.
Yeah.
That it is, like, really make that super intentional. And it can only really be, I mean, yeah, it can only really be 4 people.
Yeah. You could do more. We could make like a special of just, 6 creators.
Yeah, but would that be
sitting at a table? What's that thing? They do that? Like they have a masterclass or something where they get a whole bunch of people to sit at a table in a circle and they all chat. I remember seeing one with composers, and they've done one with directors. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I
don't know what it's called, but
I don't know how you could do that logistically though, because we struggle with this a lot, like with the 2 of us, and even when we add a guest, like it's really hard to not talk over another person.
I don't know. Well, when you have people that are good enough at it, I think most of the group that we had there last week, were like you could do it with.
Yeah.
And I think there's other people that you could, like, it would work as well. I think as well, as long as you, like, lay those ground rules of, like, we can't talk it over each other or only one person at a time. Or you have, room mics or something. We don't do mic setups like this. That's another thing. So if there is a bit of overlay, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Or you could just edit it. Like, edit the flop out of it.
Yeah.
And cut out all those sections of, there was always that like 30 seconds of chatter, and then it was like question, and then one person talked for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So you just cut out that chatter.
Yeah. I think there's definitely a way to do it. I think headphones will help a lot too.
Yeah.
Like, we were talking about this a little bit before the show, but I was listening to a podcast the other day where they were saying, like, adding headphones to the show made the biggest difference, because then, like, when someone else is talking and you try to talk, your brain literally can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what happens when we do that, and if that would work for us.
Yeah.
Because the cool thing I really like about this show is that it's not, I don't see it as a podcast.
Yeah. It's
very similar to how you look at your vlogs, and movies. I see this as not a podcast, I see it as a show.
Yeah.
So it's like, when you put headphones on, that's more of like, okay, we're going to sit at a table, we're going to have our mics on stands so they don't move, and we're going to get the best sounding things so that's podcast worthy. Yeah. So I don't know. I'd definitely be keen to try it, but I don't know what it could make it like way better.
Yeah, I don't know. Those are just the things that go through my head though, where it's like, maybe we should try that.
Yeah.
But then, like, yeah, you're right. There's a fine line that we ride between the vibe that we're trying to have and the quality that we want to have. Like like you said, you can do all of these things and have like the best quality podcast ever, but then it also loses a big part of what made it good in the first place.
Yeah.
Which is hard. But then also you don't want it to be subpar quality wise.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It's a hard one. It's a hard one to think about because there's so many like different options for things that you can do. So I don't know. I think it's just something that we'll have to experiment with and play around with. But
yeah, that's probably like comes down to really, really knowing your audience. And once you get that really, really niche, not niche, but like narrowed down audience, you know exactly who you're aiming for, then you can make those sort of decisions.
Yeah. Yeah. We talked about it. We were going to make yesterday's podcast a little bit about that. But we ended up just doing it in the vlog. But I want to talk about it a little bit here because this is going to come out way after the vlog anyway.
Yeah.
But we talked about like whether it's still worth starting a podcast now. And like we didn't really hear your opinion that much. And I want to hear your thoughts on it, on whether you think people should start a podcast now. And also why you think people should start a podcast. Because I know that I have like really strong opinions as to... and I'm not going to say them yet. I'm going to let you give your opinion. But I think that there's really only like 3 reasons that people should start a podcast. And none of them have to do with fame or money or fortune or anything like that. But I want to hear your thoughts.
Well, I'm not going to say no. Like, I'm not going to say
no.
You can't. No. Like, don't make a podcast. It is kind of a hard market at the moment, though. There's a bit of a stigma going around. Particularly, we found with male podcasts. Yeah. So it's almost like more daunting than ever to start a podcast.
But also on that, like there are ways that you can use that platform for good. Like we're very intentional about having female guests on and non-binary guests on and things like that. Like it's not like this is just a sausage fest.
Yeah. Yeah. Like some other. Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really know how to answer that. It's a hard question. Do you start a podcast? Or is it worth still starting a podcast now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like, why not? We're not doing it for, the fame or the money.
No.
It's a creative outlet for us, and it's a way, well, like, originally it was made for a way for us to hang out.
Yeah.
And to chat about what we like.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's any reason not to do it. If there's something that you're passionate about, want to talk about, want to share, and you find that just talking about it in a longer form is the easiest way to like portray that or to, convey that.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I think definitely worth doing it. And podcasts are not limited to like a weekly show or a daily show.
Yeah.
Like you can make a mini series or something.
Yeah.
You can do a three episode series on, I don't know, anything.
Yeah. On the lore of Halo 1.
Yeah. I'd listen to that.
I would listen to that too.
If you make one of them.
Send it to us.
Yeah. I want to hear it.
We get royalties.
No.
No.
I just want to hear it.
Yeah, fair enough. No, I agree. The conclusion that I came to at the end of yesterday's vlog was, and I say yesterday's vlog, but this is going to come out in 3 weeks, so the vlog from 2 weeks ago about podcasting. But the conclusion I came to was like something that we kind of figured out later on in having a podcast, that having a podcast is a really, really good way to get people who are further along in their careers than you are to talk to you. Because it's a mutual exchange then. Yeah. And it's like, there's this big, not tradition, but there's like this whole thing of asking people out for coffee. I mean, like, hey, can I take you out for coffee and pick your brain? Or can I ask you some questions about like X and Y field? Yeah. And there's no like mutual benefit there. Like they get nothing out of that exchange, But with a podcast, like you get to ask them all those questions and then they get to have this thing that they can then share and position themselves as a leader in a field. On top of that, I think that having a podcast positions you as a leader in a field as well, because you're confident enough in your subject matter to talk about it in a public forum. So I think really like the only reasons that, or the best reasons to start a podcast now are like either to get conversations with people that are high level in your field, or to position yourself as a high level person in your field, or to just like meet a bunch of new people. And like, you know, if you position it as a community based podcast, which we've kind of unintentionally done, you're going to meet a bunch of people that are then going to be like, yo, can I come on the podcast?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of the conclusion that I came to in the vlog yesterday.
Yeah. What?
Why is the podcast playing on my phone?
Hey Google, play the Froe Show.
I don't have a Google. I haven't set up Hey Siri on this phone.
Oh.
And what?
It's listening. The
Okay.
phones are listening.
Interesting.
Okay. Was it a good episode?
It was the live show, yeah.
Oh, yes.
So yes, it was a good episode that started playing.
Yeah, I never thought about it that way, of like, it's a good way to, well, what is it? Force yourself to be a professional in that field. And
Yeah.
it's almost like you have to learn about it more so you can talk about it as well.
Yeah.
So,
Which we totally did. Like,
oh yeah.
the first 50 episodes of this podcast was just us scrambling to learn more about our fields, basically.
Yeah, so we had something to talk about.
Yeah.
And doing your research and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I don't really know where to go from there.
No, I think, yeah. I think my conclusion is that if you think you can add value, or you want to have a reason to invite people for a conversation, then you should start a podcast.
Yeah, it's like the ultimate like, we'll give you exposure move.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? We can't pay you, but we'll pay you in exposure.
Yeah.
It's like the ultimate, we'll pay you in exposure.
Yeah. But also, that's better than just asking someone like, hey, can I pick your brain over coffee?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, but like, their time is value. Like,
Yeah.
Like, as creative people, your time is value.
Yeah.
And then you're just like shitting on that by being like, can I, steal you for an hour to ask you a bunch of meaningless questions and get you get literally zero benefit out of it.
You might get a $5 coffee. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas their time might be worth like $500 an hour.
Mm.
Like, if you got to put it in perspective of like, if they were going to go speak at a conference or like lecture somewhere, what would they charge, right?
Yeah, crazy amounts probably.
And the advantage of having a podcast is that then you can record that, upload that, send it to them, and then they can be like, they can just send it to a bunch of people and be like, yo, here's the answers to all the basic questions. Then they never have to do that again.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Yeah, definitely start a podcast.
Yes, I agree.
That's
What time are we on?
We're 2 minutes from done.
Oh, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else you want to say before we...
Yeah, on that, like, how we're just saying, just do it. That's something that I've noticed in the last few weeks of, like, one of our final questions we ask guests are if you have any piece of advice for upcoming creatives. And a lot of it is just don't care about what other people think.
Yeah.
That's, at least the last 3 weeks, that's been the answer.
Yeah.
Is just do your thing.
Yeah.
And so if there's anything, stopping you, you just got to find a way to push past that, I think. So, and like, I don't think we had that with this because we never thought it would come this far.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of other people think about that before they start creating and releasing content. So, yeah, you just got to find your way to push past that sort of stuff. But yeah.
No, I totally agree. It has been really, really interesting seeing all these people say the same thing every time we ask the question.
Yeah.
It's been really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I totally agree. And it's really easy to say, just do it.
Oh, yeah.
It's really easy to just be like, just like start making stuff. And like, we obviously understand that there are like mental barriers to creating things because we've been there. Like, that's the thing. And when people say that, it doesn't come from a place of like, it's easy, like just start making stuff. But it comes from a place of having been there, having experienced that, and then having found the one thing that helped them push through that mental barrier. And that comes through trial and error. It's not going to be the same for everyone.
Yeah.
So,
all
right,
for sure.
Let's wrap it up there.
We better. 30 seconds.
With 30 seconds to spare. All right. Well, I don't have to explain the bye to a guest this week, which is the first time in a while, which feels weird. But other than the Shining episode, but that was kind of like a little,
that was a
little swoop,
Yeah.
Anyway, do you have any little parting words?
No, that was my parting words.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening to or watching this episode of The Froe Show. We hope you had a great time, and we'll see you next week. Also, go rate us on Spotify.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay.